Now, 263 people lost their lives in road crashes in the month of April, according to latest statistics released by the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service. The figure represents a marginal increase in the number of deaths each month since the beginning of the year and comes despite an ongoing campaign to make the country's roads a lot safer. It brings to 1,034 the number of fatalities on the road between January and April this year. The Joy News and Multimedia Group have in the past month intensified the campaign to encourage safe road use and premiered the Crash documentary, which has since been followed by infomercials with shocking footage of real-life accidents captured by traffic cameras such as this one, which some viewers may find disturbing.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe. Safe driving saves lives.
So these are just a few of the videos that we have been sharing as part of our Drive Safe campaign. And shortly we'll be joined by the Director of Operations at MTTD, Dr. Samuel Sasumensa, who has been looking and analyzing the grim statistics. But before then, let's get to the Speaker of Parliament of Bagbin, who has recounted how his seatbelt saved his life not once, but 3 times, in what he describes as a near-fatal accident. The Speaker observed that though he was in a high-end 4-wheel drive at the time of the accident, none of the vehicles could be recovered. He believes he wouldn't have survived if he wasn't strapped at the time of the crashes and charged drivers to ensure they comply with the wearing of seatbelts. He made the remarks after the leadership of Joy News visited him in his office to officially present copies of the Joy News documentary, Crashed.
The former Minister of Health, I can tell you that the country spends colossal sums of money on road accident victims. In fact, the road accidents even kill more than 8. I have had a number of near-fatal accidents. You know, members of parliament are always on the move. And those of us who are far off from the seat of government, Accra, usually have to overstretch our nerves and our sights to try to get to your destination before dusk. And so I had about 3 near-fatal accidents, but survived them just because I obeyed one of the guiding rules of a passenger, putting on the passenger belt. Because on the 3 occasions, even though I was using Land Cruisers, none of them could be recovered. But I came out unhurt because the belt held me to the seat. And that is the first lesson and the first advice I'll give to your listeners. That's important as passengers or even driver. You should not forget to always put your seat belt on. But usually these exercises are short-lived. I hope this documentary coming from Multimedia will give you a lot more space, to be viewed by Ghanaians, and that from time to time it will be showcased again for people to learn from the lessons that this documentary will give to all of us.
The Speaker also vowed to ensure that Parliament drafts a proposal to holistically deal with the carnage on the country's roads.
As a former Minister of Health, I can tell you that the country spends colossal sums of money on road accident victims. In fact, the road accidents even kill more than 8. And now we're talking about COVID-19. Road accidents kill more than COVID-19. It's just that not all are reported and recorded. And I think that as a country, we need to take a very serious view of it. This is where I want to commend Multimedia highly for undertaking this exercise. This exercise, not just to educate, but to educate, to awaken, and to spur people on to try to find solutions to this canker in the country. I know a lot has been spent in putting this together, and I just pray that you will get the results that you're looking for. Personally, what you think I can do to support it, I will do. And I also want to get an opportunity for the House to at least take some action, not just through our committees, but dedicate a day to discuss it thoroughly and maybe come out with some proposals for government to implement.
Joining us via Zoom now is the Director of Operations at the MTTD, Dr. Samuel Sasu-Mensah, who has been looking and analyzing the grim statistics. Thank you very much, Dr. Sasu-Mensah. Now, the story doesn't seem to be getting better. What are we not doing right as far as road safety is concerned?
Good evening for this opportunity. The crux of the issue has to do with the fact that road traffic accidents has been increasing at an increasing rate. When we view the statistics is not looking good, very good at all. Because what we see now is that we have done so many enforcements, we've done so many education and awareness creation exercises, but yet the speed of traffic road accident is increasing at an alarming rate. So what we have is that from January to this April, the total number of crashes that have been recorded is 5,476. That is just for this April, January to April. But when you compare it to the previous period for this point in time, we see that the traffic accident that were recorded was 4,388, and it's an increase within the period of about 25%. Now let's talk about I'm talking within the same period, from January to April this year. The persons killed, as we recognize or as we witness now, is 132. But previously, 2021, the same period, it was 737. So we have an increase of 40.3%. Then the persons injured, when you take up the statistics, in this year, as we are witnessing, from January to April, it is 5,658. But when you compare it to the same period in 2020, it was 4,703. The percentage increase was about 20.39%. So what we find out is that the rate of traffic crashes has been increasing at an increasing and an alarming rate, like the indifference curve as an economy.
All right, so we got to know that a number, or increasingly, we're seeing more of the deaths involving motorbikes. Do we see the same trend in the very latest statistics that you have?
Certainly, what I can read, it is increasing so far, but so the death in traffic crashes was, as we find out, this April we have 206 deaths. The same period, but when we compare it to the previous period, it was 153.
All right, I'm talking about those involving motorbikes.
That's what I'm saying right now. I'm saying previous periods within the same period. When you compare it to 2020,
all right.
What in this period, I'm saying from 2021, what we find out is that 2021, from January to April, we have 263 cases. But the same period last year, we had 153 cases. So you see that it's virtually also increasing. So that is what we have. That is what the statistics shows.
Yeah.
That it is increasing at an increasing rate.
All right. You indicated that you have done something as far as enforcement is concerned. Can you please explain exactly what has been done as far as enforcement is concerned?
Enforcement means that we have increased the rate of visibility of traffic enforcement within the various traffic accident-prone routes in Ghana. We have done education. I don't know whether the people who are driving on our routes, they know the various road traffic regulations or not. That is why increasingly it is becoming very clear that they are flouting the traffic rules and regulations with impunity. So that is the crux of the issue right now.
All right, a segment of the commuting public has to do with these motorbikes. And you have actually indicated that a lot more of them are getting involved in these accidents. What are you doing specifically about the motorbikes?
The crux of the issue is that we have strategized. We have put a whole lot of measures to make sure that this incident of breaches of traffic regulations regarding the use of motorbikes is curtailed.
What are some of these measures?
But rules and regulations has to do with careless and inconsiderate riding without the necessary crash helmets, and people are doing Okada. These are various rules and breaches that has to do with the use of the motorbike. It is the only issue has not got to do with people using Okada, but there are several breaches of traffic rules relating to the use of the motorbikes, and there are several in the numbers.
Granted,
what we are trying to do it right now is that we are going all out. We are trying to enforce that people abide by the rules and regulations governing the use of motorbikes.
Do you then agree that not much enforcement has been done, even though you indicate that you've been enforcing the traffic regulations?
Several enforcement efforts is being done. Several enforcement efforts is being done. But the crux of the issue is that we have to up our enforcement efforts.
When can we see some action that's going to bring real results?
Very, very, very soon. You will see actions on the road regarding to the breach of traffic regulations regarding the use of motorcycles.
What should we be seeing?
Very soon you will see it. You will see it right being practicalized on our roads.
All right.
We are strategizing. We are strategizing, and we are coming out with the effective and efficient strategies to combat their efforts. The effort is to ensure that the rules and regulations are being adhered to.
Hopefully, it doesn't take too long for these strategies to be rolled out.
Certainly, it will not take too long.
Thank you very much.
Certainly, it will never take too long. We are going right. We are going to practicalize it, and you see our visibility on the route with regards to enforcement of motor bicycle rules and regulations.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Samuel Sasu Mensah. He's the Director of Operations at the MTTD. Let's take a watch. Let's watch again this clip.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.
Want to say something before we...
Safe driving saves lives. Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.